There is a rising demand for British-made products, and the official Made in Britain trademark is recognised by 79% of UK companies and 56% of consumers, helping to identify the provenance of goods. Made in Britain is a not-for-profit organisation who aim to raise awareness of all British and Northern Irish manufacturing sectors nationally and internationally. Joining me now is Made in Britain CEO John Pearce. John, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, firstly, tell us a little bit more about the Made in Britain trademark. It was launched 10 years ago. How has it evolved since then?
Well, what started out as a list of a few hundred manufacturers has turned into what's now thousands of manufacturers all using the Made in Britain official trademark, and they're using it to help them sell more of what they make in this country. And we very proudly put all of those manufacturers together to make sure that they are promoted and represented everywhere possible, so that people know that if you're buying a Made in Britain product, that's good for the economy, it's good for society, it's good for the sustainable growth of the British economy.
Now, what procedures does Made in Britain have in place to ensure their members are genuinely making products in the UK?
Well, this is something we take really seriously, as you can imagine. And what we want to know is exactly who is responsible for the manufacturing. And we also need to know what you're making the materials from, what you're using to make the products that you're using the Made in Britain mark on. And that becomes a process of actually proving that you're a manufacturer in this country.
What role does Made in Britain play in promoting sustainability?
The thing about manufacturers is, of course, that they have a lot more sustainability responsibilities than any other business sector, really. They are trying to turn raw materials and energy into a saleable product with a profit. And that's much harder to tick every sustainability box than most other sectors. And so we focus our efforts on trying to help them articulate how they are addressing the challenge of zero waste, which is important. Manufacturers don't waste any materials at all. In fact, they very often use upcycled materials to make the original things that they're selling. But above all else, we know that the carbon footprint of the product is more likely to be much, much lower than it were if the products were imported from the other side of the world.
How does Made in Britain collaborate with the UK government and Parliament?
Well, our group is great collaborators, full stop. I mean, we do spend a lot of time promoting our members directly to MPs. In fact, we want all of the new MPs to know exactly where their manufacturers are, and we've designed what we call the Discovery Map. And anyone that wants to put in their postcode into the map, they can find all the manufacturers that are close to them. And this is a website that is open to the general public. In fact, anyone can do it. If they visit madeinbritain.org, they can find out who's making what and how many of those companies are within driving distance or even walking distance of where you live.
On a personal note, what impresses and surprises you most about the UK manufacturing sector, and what are your hopes for the future?
We're seeing all these different companies that make some weird and wonderful things, very often things that you can't even identify. And that diversity of British product manufacturing is really fascinating every single day at work, and that's a privilege. But one of the things that I admire most about British manufacturing is the long-termism. I understand from all of our members that when they're making business decisions, they're not thinking about today and tomorrow, and they're very often thinking about this year, next year, and the year after. And not all businesses are like that. I think manufacturers are kind of special.
John, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.